congratulations. Last night's performance, was that inspired by your call-up?
No, I was, I knew I had a job to do, and I tried putting this while I was just to the side, just for last night's game. And, like I said before, it was the toughest 24 hours of my life, so I just had to prepare the way I normally do for a normal club game, so, yeah.
Did James Flanagan say something to you to kind of spur you for the game?
Yeah, he did, he just said, look, treat it as a celebration. It's a big opportunity to go and show the world like why you got picked for Origin, and But like I said, I just tried brushing the Origin feeling out of myself and keep it out of my mind, and just wanted to play my footy. So yeah.
What did it mean to you when you got the call-up?
I never got a call up. I got plenty of phone calls saying you're in the team. So but as soon as Flanagan, everyone said something to me, but you didn't ever believe anything until it actually comes out of Laurie Daley's he's out of his mouth. So as soon as I heard it, it just hit me like a ton of bricks, and I couldn't believe I was going to be playing for New South Wales.
What does it mean to rub shoulders with some of these players as well?
It's one of the best feelings, You get to play with one of the a few of the best players in the game, and just to be amongst it, and and I'm still learning, and it's going to be a great week just to learn from the rest of these.
Your family really excited for you? Who did you tell first?
Oh, first one was my missus and that, and well, I told my son, but I don't think he knows what's going on. But they're the main two in my life, and then I end up telling my brother, and then I tried getting in contact with my twin in France, and yeah, as soon as he found out, he was just stoked. So yeah.
What about the road getting here, mate? It hasn't been easy. It's been a sort of bumpy journey to get to the top, hasn't it?
Yeah, like I said before, look, I'm still young, and I knew it was, everyone was telling me I've got a big career ahead of me, and if I didn't make Origin this year, it was always next year or the year after or the year after. And I just put my head down, and everyone was talking to me about it, and just said, look, just play your game, and that's what I have been doing for week in, week out.
What about in the off-season, mate? What changes did you make? Because you look like you're in the fittest, you're in the shape of your career.
I finally got a full pre-season on my belt. Besides having little LJ, it was an eye-opener, and I just wanted to go do the best I could, and I just tried to be the fittest in the team, but
What's Laurie said he wants from you? I know front row's job's simple, but what does he?
I really hasn't talked about it yet. I guess later in the week we'll talk about it, but I haven't even had a training session with the boys yet because I played last night. So yeah.
How keen are you to stamp your authority physically on the roads that you first touch?
I just want to get out there and do my job. That's it. I'm an interchange player, and I'm coming off the bench, and I just want to bring that little bit of spark to get the boys' momentum back up and going.
That's playing alongside Paul Gallen week in, week out. How's that helped your game?
I wouldn't say week in, week out. He hasn't been there for the last 3 weeks. So, but it's been inspiring. We're playing with Paul Gallen anyway. He always said, look, just look at his size of you compared to me. Grab that ball and run hard as you can. Trust me, you'll go straight through everyone. You know what I mean? So, but he's known as one of the best forwards in the world. So, and it's a privilege playing with Paul week in, week out.
Who do you think deserves to replace Kurt Gidley?
It depends if they're looking for bigger players, like if they're looking like a big player to come off the bench, and I'd go with Timmy Grant. He's got the experience, and he's another big bloke, and he did well at City Camp. Him or Timmy Manor. But if they're looking for utility, I wouldn't go past Wade Graham. He can play anywhere, any position. I don't know about the wing, but other than that, he's free for all.
Looking at the Queensland side, do you need to pick another big bloke on the bench, do you reckon, or what?
Like I told all them, I don't know the Queensland team yet. I haven't even looked at it. I come onto the game yesterday, and I think they maybe announced it yesterday or something.
Yeah.
But if they're a big team, I guess we need a bigger player. But if not, it's always good to have that one utility player on the bench. But then again, same with the utility player. We've got Greg Bird who can play anywhere, and Luke Lewis can play anywhere. So yeah.
Will you have a look at the Queensland team, or you don't really care who they've picked?
Yeah, it doesn't really mind. As long as this sky blue jersey on, that's all I'm happy to play for. So, yeah.
You touched on your twin and your little boy and your partner, and telling them the news. You got the tat on the neck. Just how much the family values mean to you, and can you instill some of that sort of bond in this team?
Yeah, family means the world to me, it's the most thing, and I always said blood's thicker than water, but then I also have those best mates of mine who are closer than some family, you know. So, look, all I do week in, week out is just think, whenever I get tired, whenever I try and strive to achieve my goals, I just think of my son and even my family. So, yeah, that's the main kind of present you can give.
Jonathan Thurston's due to have a baby on game day. Are you hoping that the baby comes on time?
Oh, I've been talking to JT, and I'm very happy for him. And I said, look, if it's born down here, it can be born down here, it can be a blue. So, but you know, I hope you know, if he misses game 1, unfortunately, but he'll be back for game 2 and game 3. But you know, it's the best feeling in the world having a child, and I'd miss Origin just to have the child again, another child. So yeah.
And Gallen didn't play for the Sharks last night. How is he?
Yeah, he's good. He was running. He could have played, I reckon, but you know, like he's a professional and he knows his own body. And if he says he didn't feel 100%, he shouldn't have played. But you know, he was the same with Luke Lewis and even Mickey Gordon. So, but with those 3 out, there's plenty of depth in our team to come through. And I thought Tyrone Peachy and Sam Tagadezi had another good game. So.
Is it a bit concerning, like considering that he didn't play and going into Origin?
No, not really. It's pretty much, if the coach asked me to sit out, you know, you don't really want to, but if Gal's pretty much the main man for this state, you know, and he's pretty honest, and if he says he's not ready, you know, he's not ready. But you never know, even next week you could pull out, you know, you never know. So.
Do you remember what you were doing the last time New South Wales won a series?
I think I was in school. I don't know. I don't even know. I really hardly watched footy when I was younger, and but I would have been to school somewhere and then come home and just been watching it. But yeah.